Yo, what's happening, Raider Nation? It's your boy Soto here. You know what it is. Raiders versus the world, talking about the team that the world loves to hate, your Las Vegas Raiders. All right. So the Raiders have been looking for a number one receiver for a long time. Okay. Think back to the first round draft picks. Okay. You got like the Darius Hayward Bays, right? And then we had Amari Cooper, who was good, but John Gruden didn't like him and shipped him off. And then we had then it was just a big revolving door. We had the whole Antonio Brown saga, then the Henry Ruggs fiasco, and then we traded for Devontae Adams, and you saw how that worked out, and it's just been a big old mess. The Raiders haven't had a true number one receiver that they can count on for the long term in quite some time. Now, they have Brock Bowers, who's not really a receiver, but a target, right? But you still need that X receiver on the outside to round out an offense. Some massive news coming out of Arizona, all right? But before we get to that, I want to make sure everyone please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. It's a great way to support this channel and help this channel grow. It's absolutely free, and realistically, it's the bare minimum you can do to help this channel besides doing absolutely nothing and just watching the video. So go ahead and do it, please. Okay, let's get to it. All right, in my first mock draft, I had the Raiders taking tmac in the first round. My thinking was, if there isn't a superstar of the big 4 or 5 players in the draft, the really huge impact players, you want to get a playmaker, right? I was kind of torn between Tetairoa McMillan and Ashton Jeanty because I think those are the two biggest playmakers outside of the elite couple of players, right? There was a big question mark in Tetairoa McMillan's game. He has the size. He's 6'4", 215, super long arms, super big hands, 42-inch vertical. A 42-inch vertical at 6'4" with long arms, he can throw the ball, try to throw the ball out of the stadium. He can still jump and catch it, all right? So the guy has those types of measurables, but he didn't run the 40 in the combine. And people are asking, why would he not run the 40 in the combine? Is he too slow? What's going to happen? And ever since the combine, we saw tmac's draft stock just keep falling and falling. Every mock draft that I saw, I saw him as far as 21 to the Steelers, I believe. That's probably not going to happen because of DK Metcalf. But on Monday, tmac had like a kind of a slash pro day private workout type of thing. And Jordan Schultz was there from Fox Sports. He said that tmac ran a 4.48 40-yard dash. A 4.48 40 at 6'4" and 215, 220 pounds is elite. That is like top of the food chain. Think like a Mike Evans, but with more burst and more twitchiness. A more dynamic Mike Evans. Okay, that's what we have on our hands right now. I gotta take a deep breath right now because this has automatically become super crazy. I'm gonna talk about a couple things. First one I want to talk about is Tetairoa McMillan. There were some scouts saying that it was, a 4.52, some saying was a 4.46, whatever. The consensus was a 4.48, all right? And that's plenty fast. That's plenty fast for a receiver of that size. What we're looking at here is Tetairoa McMillan was kind of being looked at because he didn't run his 40-yard dash during the combine. He was saying, okay, well, there's a reason why he's not running it. He's just not fast enough. He's going to be more of a possession receiver. He's going to be a 50-50 ball guy. He's not going to be a home run hitter. He's going to be more of a, first down guy or a red zone guy. He's not going to be a guy that can take the top off a defense. That is just blown out of the water right now. This dude is going to be able to do that. He catches the ball. He makes one guy miss, or he shucks away one tackle, and he's going to be hard to catch. The big thing to look at here is the 4.48 just isn't a number, okay? It silenced the critics. It silenced all that talk. It kind of shut everyone up and said, okay, there is nothing wrong with this prospect. This guy checks every single box. He had back-to-back 1,300-yard seasons. He has a great catch radius. He has a low drop rate. He has the frame, the athleticism, and the measurables. And now he has the speed to beat you deep. This guy has everything that a team looks for in a true X receiver. True X receivers, they're just not everywhere, all right? The thing about a true X receiver is more often than not, you're going to see this guy lined up by himself versus the best corner that the opposing team has, usually with some help. And that guy's job is to get open more often than not. Well, way more often than not. And even if he's not open, the X receiver is still charged with going up and making catches against double coverage. The guy has to be Superman. And I'm telling you right now, 6'4", 219, I guess it says 6'4", 219, with long arms, a 42-inch vertical, and a 4.48 speed. Yeah, Tet McMillan is Superman. Guys, think about this, okay? Before Tet McMillan ran his 40, he was still the top receiver in a lot of scouts' draft boards. That, depending on how you looked at Travis Hunter, whether he's just a full-time corner or a slash guy, people were looking at Tet McMillan, even without that 40 time, as the top receiving prospect in the draft. Now that he's run this 4.48, there's really no question right now. The best true X receiver in this draft is Tet McMillan. Now, Travis Hunter has like the flashy name because of the two-way star and this and that. And Luther Burden on the other end, he's kind of a yards after catch machine, more of like a Deebo Samuel, Swiss Army knives type guy, which is great. And then you have guys like Golden from Texas, who ran that blazing fast 40 at the combine. But Tet McMillan is the most complete X receiver out there. He is a true number one, hands down. No gimmicks needed. Line him up, have him run the route tree, and he's going to get open. All right, well, here comes the good part, okay? You got the Raiders sitting at number 6. You just got Geno Smith. Geno Smith is used to throwing to a big, fast receiver in DK Metcalf. He's used to airing the ball out down the field. I think it's a pretty good marriage, guys. Get Geno Smith targets. Get Geno Smith weapons. That's what he needs. That's what this offense needs. The offense just didn't have enough weapons last year to really put up a lot of points. Even when we were able to get the ball down the field, the guys weren't as dynamic as they needed to be outside of Brock Bowers to be able to stretch the field and hit those home runs. We need that type of player on this team. That's why when my 2 mock drafts, the first mock draft was Tet McMillan and the second mock draft was Ashton Jeanty. Dynamic offensive players. We need those dynamic offensive stars on this team. With that 4.48 40 that Tet McMillan just ran, tmac is now at the top of the list for me in guys we should target because of the depth of the running back class. The only reason, nothing against Ashton Jeanty whatsoever. I think he's a dynamic player. I think he's going to be like a mini LaDainian Tomlinson, in all honesty. But guys like Tet McMillan, tmac, they don't come around all the time. 6'4", 220, long arms, can jump out of the stadium, and he can run that fast. There's just not that many guys out there in the world that can do things like that. Although Pete Carroll's more of a defensive coach, there are some similarities year to year in his offense, despite who the offensive coordinator is. He likes to run the ball. He likes to grind the ball out. He likes to have a big, powerful, imposing offensive line, but he loves to take deep shots. He loves to beat deep ball. He loves to throw the ball downfield, and he loves to create mismatches in the red zone. T-Mac can do that just by himself. Just walking on the field, he's a mismatch. Imagine this. You have T-Mac on one side. You have Brock Bowers on the other. Who are you going to double? And if you do double somebody, then you have Jacoby Myers and Trey Tucker, and as of right now, Michael Mayer. You got all these guys that are capable pass catchers. What are you going to do to stop them? Even if you're in position, Brock Bowers has shown as a rookie he can catch against the very best, get open against anybody. T-Mac, with his measurables and his speed and his athletic traits, he can go up and get anything over anybody in the NFL. This is a home run pick for the Raiders should they make it happen. Imagine we're in the red zone and they put 3 receivers on T-Mac. It doesn't matter. No defender in the NFL has the speed, explosion, jumping ability, and size that can match a T-Mac. You just throw it up there and he's going to go get it over anybody. This changes everything when it comes to this draft. Now you have to put T-Mac up in that top tier of prospects because of all those athletic traits that he has, plus the production that he had. His traits match the production, and that's what scouts are looking for. It's like, yeah, you have great measurables, but did it show up on the field? With T-Mac, there's no problem with that. So where's it going to go in the draft? It's kind of iffy because everyone has an opinion, right? And everyone's opinion doesn't really mean much until the actual draft day, right? But Like I said, he was mocked to be as low as 21 to the Steelers, 22 to the Chargers, around that area, or as high as 4 to the Jags. Who knows, man? I mean, honestly, he could even be a trade-up target. We might think that, yeah, Shedeur Sanders was the trade-up target at 6, or maybe even Ashton Jeanty. Throw another name on that list right now. So there's another guy on top of Travis Hunter and the 2 quarterbacks. That's 3 players already. And you have Abdul Carter and Mason Graham. Those are probably the top 5 players that teams are going to covet, right? But now you have to add T-Mac to that list. That's a 6th player. So we're guaranteed to get one of those top 6 picks. That is huge for us right now. That's not even counting the Will Campbells of the world or anything like that. This is a big deal for the Raiders, because if we are not sold on taking somebody like a Jeanty or like a T-Mac or anything like that, we're going to have a lot of phone calls coming in for us to trade back in the first round and pick up more picks. Is that something we want to do? Do we want to just sit there and take the most dynamic player that's available? That's a possibility as well. But this 4-4-8-40 is a game changer. It just changed everything. It just turns everyone's mock draft on its head. You might as well just tear it up and do a new one, because this now puts T-Mac into the rarefied air of the top picks. If it were me, if I'm at 6 and T-Mac is still available, I am running that card up and I am taking T-Mac with my pick. I need to give my quarterback everything he needs to be successful. I can draft interior offensive line that's deep all the way throughout the draft. I can draft a running back later that's deep all the way throughout the draft. There's other deep positions like tight end, H-back, and defensive line. I can get those later, because those are all very deep. Top end receivers like this don't come around very often, especially in the same draft. You're not going to find another T-Mac for quite some time. The last time we saw someone with all these measurables was Mike Evans, and T-Mac, his measurables are even better. He's just as tall, he's longer, he can jump higher, and he can run faster. This is absolutely crazy, guys. If we don't get T-Mac and he's available at number 6, I don't know what we're doing. I think he's a home run pick for us. All right, guys, that's my time for today. I appreciate you watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below, man. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. It's a great way to support this channel and keep this channel up in front for Raiders content. I really appreciate you guys. You know that it's just us, Raiders versus the world. We're coming after everybody, all right? We're this a grassroots thing. We're growing it from the ground up, and I tell you how much I appreciate you guys and your support. All right, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, because honestly, it's the absolute bare minimum you can do to help support this channel, besides doing absolutely nothing and just watching, which I do appreciate as well. All right, guys, that's my time. Until next time, everybody. Peace. Hey, Raider Nation, thanks for watching. There's plenty more where that came from. Go ahead and smash that like button, drop a comment, make sure to subscribe, and share to all your socials. It's the bare minimum you can do without doing absolutely nothing.